bringing you the latest news from Lubbock High Athletics. This is the Westerner Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Good Wednesday evening here in mid-December. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. We've been doing this 2 nights a week since Thanksgiving, after doing it 3 nights a week all fall until then. This is the last show of the calendar year. We come back January 5th with the same 2 shows, and this is Wednesday night, so that means it's Lubbock High, Coronado, Friendship, and Lubbock Cooper, starting right now through 7:30 p.m. Mondays are Estacado, Monterey, Memorial, and Liberty, when we'll come back with that same lineup. Just going to take a couple weeks off for Christmas and to let athletes and coaches have their times with family and also get ready for the kind of the meat of their schedule. Basketball's full-blown now. I think everybody but the 6As have started district. Memorial and Liberty girls played last night in that 4A district, so everybody's kind of stuck a toe in the water now. I take that back. 4A boys have not started. They start after Christmas as well. We are going to step out of basketball for a little bit here, though. We're in the Westerner Fan Zone. We're going to talk Lubbock High wrestling because I told him better we get ready to blush a little bit. With Lubbock High coach Richard Leal, who's been there, told me he's been there 8 years. And with senior Lucas White, who, what'd you tell me, he's your numbers guy? He's got information stored.
Yeah, he's the rankings guy. He's always telling me who's ranked and who's not. I don't pay attention to it much.
You told me you were getting old. You're not getting old. But I've got a high school senior. I'm still young enough to have a high school senior at Lubbock High. And if I need information, like, I don't know about you, but if I have trouble with my cell phone, it's usually the 17-year-old that
yes, sir,
bails me out here. So I'm glad that Lucas is here because it always helps to have that young, fresh mind. I'm glad. I told these guys I'm glad that we got a chance to talk to them. They're coming off of, does Monterey call that their event last night? Anything official?
Just a quad, okay. Monterey quad.
It's not one of the huge events, but it is a fun event because it's all 4 LISD schools. And Richard, how'd you guys do last night?
We did well. We beat both teams and looked good. I had some younger guys in the lineup that got some mat time, and when we wrestle our senior night, we'll put the full lineup in and we'll be ready to go. So, is there any other events where all 4 LISD schools are at the same place? I know not just the 4 of you because it's usually a bigger field. It'll be. I know for sure when we do our quad, we'll have all 4 teams there. Now we may not all wrestle each other, but we'll have them there and get a go in. So.
And so, Lucas, I talked to the basketball kids about this a lot. Grab your microphone, make sure Mom and Dad can hear you. Talk to the basketball kids a bunch. When you get those meets where it's just the Lubbock kids, does that get the juices flowing a little bit, knowing these are kids you grew up with?
Yeah, I mean, it's just fun to go out there and wrestle, and it's kind of like, yeah, we get to show that we're better and that we put that work in and get to go out there and show it.
Because, and I'm going to get Richard to talk about this at some point, wrestling's really grown in Lubbock. And here's the part where you're going to blush a little bit. You're a Pampa guy. You came down from the Panhandle, wrestled at Wayland Baptist. You told me you were with the first ever team up there in Plainview.
Yes, sir.
And I think I told you before, I've got a little bit of my heartstrings are connected to Plainview. I'm married to a Plainview girl whose dad was the dean of students when you were there. That's a really good. I think I'm not sure people realize how good that wrestling program is.
Yeah, it's definitely growing. Coach Davis has brought some guys in, some coaches in. Does a great job recruiting, and they look solid. The recruiting class they had for the girls team last year really stepped up, and Maddie Pena included, and company. So the guys side, Alex Pena is one of the assistants this year, and so you're going to see continual growth. We have some Lubbock guys from Friendship, from Estacado. So and we have just good look. He's really proud of that program and what they're doing, and just an avenue to open the door to get an education for our kids in the 45 minutes away.
Yep. So. And it's fitting because you're a Pampa guy. Wrestling in the Panhandle has been big for a while.
Yes, sir.
Whether it's Pampa, Dumas, Tascosa, Paladuro, Randall, all of those teams have kind of had it going for a while. It's come down south. It's like a lot of sports. It starts to take off one place, but Lubbock High has kind of set the bar in Lubbock. You guys, you've been there for 8 years. The program was there before you got there, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you guys have, I say set the bar, you've inspired other teams to get better, other schools to get better. Corey Nichols came on and was talking about how Coronado kind of has looked at you guys to improve what they're doing. Lubbock Cooper started, 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Really solid.
And I know Rios has talked about, yes, we want to be what Lubbock High is at some point. You have to take some pride in that you guys have been able to build something that quickly that can compete with anybody in the state.
Yeah, and I think the biggest part, one of the things that I and company really worked on is building wrestling in Lubbock in general, and just building kids up, and not necessarily they're this school, that school, versus hey, we're one product. At the end of the day, we're going to try to get these kids to again get those doors open for those kids, and I think we've seen the growth because of that kind of mindset. Where yes, we have rivalries, friendly rivalries, but at the end of the day, the kids are what's important, and the overall growth of the sport as well. So
Lucas, you're one of those guys that let's see, when Coach got there, you would have been in the 4th grade. Were you wrestling yet in the 4th grade, or did you get started?
I got started about my 8th grade year, but I started really taking it serious once I got to high school, my freshman year.
What got you going? What was it that kind of caught your attention?
Honestly, I thought I was just I was decent at it. I thought it was fun, but getting in the room at Lubbock High and seeing the seniors that were there was Junon. He was a state champ my freshman year, and it's just seeing that bar and seeing how they compete, it was just really pushed me. I wanted to just get better, so I started taking it serious and started working hard.
It's got to kind of fire you up, too, that the program, I always say this, good athletic programs recruit themselves. You don't have to go out and say, hey, come and wrestle. The way you guys, the success you've had, young guys like Lucas and other kids see that, and they're like, I want to be a part of that. That's another thing to be proud of, I would think.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we've had some really good leadership. I think that was, when I first got here, we had a lot of talent. And the kids just weren't prepared to be leaders quite yet, and so I had a younger kid step up, and I forced those other kids to step up as well. One of those kids, Zach Casillas, Bruce Casillas, works with us now and does a great job with everything. And Zach stepped up, and the first year everybody was kind of hesitant, and then past that point we were just building leaders. And now my job's a lot easier because of that. Lucas, and we have 10 captains, boys and girls, and so that's each one of them has their own role type of thing. And so I think that was the biggest thing that led to a good portion of our success is we have guys step up and they understand their responsibilities and they fulfill them wholeheartedly, and I think that makes a difference.
And when you say guys, you're talking boys and girls.
Guys and girls, yes, sir.
Program has been incredible as
yes,
well.
Sir.
If I'm right, Bruce Casillas helped get Liberty started.
Yes.
Was he at Lubbock Cooper before that?
I believe he was a Cooper assistant and then the Liberty head coach.
So he's kind of helped plant some seeds at 2 other places.
Yes,
Coming up on a break, we'll be back and we'll talk more Lubbock High wrestling in the Westerner Fan Zone right after this on 100.7 The Score.
Diving headfirst into Lubbock High athletics. You're listening to the Westerner Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. This is the High School Fan Zone on a Wednesday night, Wednesday, December 17th. I bet I need to say Merry Christmas to folks out there before I forget. Merry Christmas from the Fan Zone. Merry Christmas from HumpsyPreps.com and everybody at Ray Mart's. Like I said, we'll be off the air for a couple weeks after this, so I was almost going to wear my Santa hat. My teenage daughter talked me out of it, so you guys can thank her for me not looking weird sitting over here. Richard, I'm going to keep making you blush over here. You were just talking about how when you were in high school up in Pampa, Lubbock didn't move the radar much when you guys would see them. It's changed. Not only are you guys competing, at Lubbock High in particular, and I said this to you before, Lubbock High there's a lot of challenges about coaching athletics at Lubbock High, and I've gotten a first-hand glimpse of that with a senior at Lubbock High. But the 3 sports that jump off the radar for me are wrestling, swimming, and tennis. You guys find a way to compete at that high level. When you got to Lubbock High, is that kind of what you had in mind? Did you have a blueprint to get the program to where it's at now?
Like I said, we had a lot of talent already. It was just redirecting, personalities, right? Credit to the club scene here, Hub City, and later results, and later 806 produced a lot of really talented kids. And so my job wasn't necessarily to teach ground level up, which is a lot tougher to do in a lot of ways. But my job was to direct them into, becoming good people and hard work. Yes, wrestling is important, but the next stage is of life. And so, I don't necessarily know there was a blueprint as far as, but like I said, building good leaders, building good people. We see the events, but we don't see the stuff behind the scenes, the grades, the making sure your nutrition's right, and all those things that lead up to the success. And so that was kind of the thing, is build good leaders and then kind of work outwards from there.
Because you're also a football assistant coach.
Yes, sir.
That's probably the sport that's toughest at Lubbock High, because the numbers, you don't have the same amount of numbers as a lot of other programs. Realignment's about to hit, and it's going to stay that same way for a while. Why, Lucas, let me ask you, why is it different with wrestling? What motivates you guys to be as good as you are? It's more of an individual sport. It's a team. You do things for team results, but why are you guys so good at what you do?
I just think it's really a team thing. Like, it is an individual sport, but it's so much of a team thing. Like, every guy in our room wants to see their teammates win just as much as they want to win. So I think that really helps us, because we're always pushing each other. We're not allowing people to slack off. We're always on top of it and just keep holding each other accountable and making sure that we all have the same goal and we're all going to work towards it, like, no matter what. So that's what it really is to me.
Now, if I remember right, the last few years, there was a Mrs. Leal helping. Was she a wrestler at Wayland as well?
She actually did cheer and dance.
Okay.
She stole my heart a long time. So, I asked her, I said, hey, sweetie, would you be interested in coaching? Because Coach Garr was here at the time. And I remember Coach Garr asked me, hey, do you think she can get it done? I said, yeah. If she, people follow her, and, she works at McCool currently, and she helps out with the middle school program still voluntarily. So she just has a big heart and wants to see people win. And, I taught her some wrestling, so she's starting to work on her technique a little bit too. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of people say, I can't imagine working with my wife. And, there was a couple times there were, we bumped heads or whatever, and it's tricky when you get to the house where you have that dynamic.
Yes.
But we did a good job of kind of shutting it down and refocusing on the important things, and it was a lot of fun actually. So, and she did a great job with the girls program. Credit to her, to where it's at now. So we started with 2 girls on the roster, and now we have close to 20. So exponential growth and all that. So yeah.
And Maddie Pena's kind of become the poster child. I remember going to the awards banquet last year at the end of the year. And just first of all, unfortunately for her and Reese both, with her and Reese Pena, people probably thought they were related. And you see the two of them, you're like, nah, I don't think that's too related. Great athletes, both of them great athletes. But what Maddie did for her career is just incredible. And that's somebody who, again, will recruit the program just because of what she accomplished. Yeah,
and she was kind of a string bean when she first started, and her brother had just come off of winning 3 titles, and the message was, hey, I'm not going to judge you on this or that. Show up and work hard, and it turned out to be a pretty good tell, and still ongoing. This next chapter, she's really, really tough at the college level as well. So
Lucas, you said you've got a younger sister. Are you getting her ready to step into those, what do they call, wrestling shoes?
Just wrestling shoes, yeah.
I just want to make sure. They're cleats in track and they're cleats in football. She's starting to look at you and thinking, I want to be a wrestler?
I wish. I mean, no, not really. She's a sweetheart. She does dance and theaters. She's not mean like me, so she don't like to go and get in there.
Listen, there's something for everybody. There's at Lubbock High, and I'm not promoting or recruiting, but if you want your kids to have a chance to do anything, it's in Lubbock High. That's going to wrap us up in this first segment. We're going to come back after this break in the Mustang Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. Thanks for coming in, guys.